Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Yecca, where we cover culture, conspiracy, carnivore, and Christ consciousness. Today, I want to talk about women's hormone health, as well as like some tips to help with PMS and maybe a little bit about femininity. We'll see if I get into some of that. So this is geared towards women, this episode, but I do want to encourage men if they do want to listen or watch this episode. It's still, I think it's still really important for both men and women to learn about the opposite sex because, well, we're the opposite. And so um, I think it'd be really good, and it might even make life a little bit easier if we learn to understand how the other operates. And so I wanted to go over this because I'm just super hormonal this month. A full disclosure, I've been under some extra stress, and I have not been eating so great these past couple months. And so I definitely could feel it this month. I felt pretty close. Probably it probably wasn't exactly close to how I used to be when I was eating a standard American diet, but it definitely seemed like it was to me, or like like it just I had not felt like that in so many years since I've started my health journey. It's been over 10 years. I've been working on my health, and I just felt so crazy, and it only was like a couple months of crazy, had a couple like slightly traumatic things, and some just a lot of stressors, and then that led me to comfort eating and eating foods that I knew I shouldn't be eating, or thinking that I could eat just a little bit of it, and then I end up eating the whole thing. So and it ended up giving me really bad PMS, which is it stands for premenstrual symptoms, if you don't know. So whenever somebody says PMS symptoms, they're saying premenstrual symptoms. It's like saying ATM machine. You're saying automatic teller machine. So yes, anyways, I wanted to share some of my previous symptoms that I had when I was eating a standard American diet, and this was basically how my cycle was, like from a very young age up until I started to get healthier, which was like maybe in my mid 20s. So I used to get really, really bad cramps, like so bad to where I would have to call into work sometimes. And I I would just like be curled up in bed, literally curl up into a ball for a day or two, and it would just be so painful. And I would get hormonal mood swings that would sometimes like bring me to tears for no reason. That didn't happen as often as me getting just super angry at any little thing. I used to just like be like my mood nowadays is literally like the opposite of how I felt before. Maybe I didn't like express it as how I felt back then, but I was definitely angry a lot, way like so angry all the time at like any little thing. And yeah, just like my body, also even like the shape of my body, it was just like super straight. I had no curves, no shape really. And you would think that doesn't really have anything to do with hormones, but I later come to find out that it does. Actually, women are supposed to have curves. You're not really like having a straight body is not really a sign of health. Not saying that you're unhealthy if you have a straight body. I'm just saying that women naturally have curves, because I later, once I fixed my hormones and became healthier, I ended up having curves on my body. It was the craziest thing. I did not expect that to happen. And then also another symptom I had was irregularity, just ranging from having a cycle every 1 to 3 months. And that is not normal. A woman is supposed to have her cycle every 28 to 30 days, and that is the standard. um, and so when you don't have a period for a month and a half or 3 months, like, and you're not pregnant, that's not normal. And unfortunately, a lot of women in the world actually experience irregular periods and they experience PMS. And all these symptoms that I listed off, I know are a common thing amongst many women in the US at least. I couldn't speak for other countries, but I know in the US, a lot of women for sure deal with like debilitating pain. And that's why sometimes you'll hear women talking about like that we should get time off from work on those days because like seriously, I like right now, I do not want to be making this video right now, to be honest. But you know, I want to bring awareness to this because it is a topic that isn't talked about a lot, I think, and I sure certainly wasn't taught about this stuff growing up. Like nobody taught me this in school, how to prevent having these symptoms. They just tell you, oh well, you're going to be tired and you're going to be in pain and you're just going to have to learn how to deal with it. And no, actually, you don't. You really don't. And so that's why I want to talk about this topic because I don't want women to suffer from this pain that we have to deal with for a majority of our lives, depending on how long we live. But yeah, it's a big part of our lives, and just because it's common that a lot of women suffer from PMS, and you might have to call into work sometimes because you're in such debilitating pain. It's not okay. Like last night I was in so much pain. The whole day I thought I was okay. Everything was going good. I was in no pain. And then in the evening, it all just hit me at once. And every time, like just anytime something like that happens, like just like, okay, what have I been eating? And I knew this time I knew immediately it was the food that I've been eating and the stress too that I've been under. And I was just in so much pain. I was literally like groaning in pain. I curled up into a ball on my couch, and then it was so early still too. It was daylight outside, and I drank a bunch of water, took a bunch of electrolytes. I walked up and down my hill outside to get some movement. The pain was not going away, and it was just like I even like started uh, to get dizzy and lightheaded, and I just like laid down on my couch, and then I decided that I was just going to go to my bed. And I could like, oh my gosh, it was so hard to get to sleep. My stomach, like I don't, I mean, obviously I've had cramps that bad before, but it was so bad. Like the pain was just kind of unbearable and I didn't know what to do. And I don't really like to take pills or anything like that. But I ended up breaking down and I took some ibuprofen. I've actually like had not owned any kind of like ibuprofen or Tylenol in my house for like over a decade. And I just bought that bottle earlier this year. I don't remember what for, but so now I have it in case of emergencies. And last night it was an emergency. So I don't want anybody thinking that I'm perfect and that I never take stuff. And I really try my best not to ever take that stuff. But I had no idea what else to do. I could barely get up to get it. Like I'm sure a heating pad would have worked, but I physically could not get up to make myself a heating pad or go even find. Like I don't even know where it is. Like I would have had to go find it. And then I couldn't even stare at a screen. Like the lights were bothering me, and I was getting lightheaded and like kind of dizzy and like I was gonna try to like watch something laying down and then I couldn't, and I just like had to turn off all the screens and turn off all the lights and just like lay down, and then finally it started to get dark, so that helped, and then I just like finally dozed off and went to bed, and I woke up feeling a lot better. Still the pain and the lightheadedness is actually still kind of there, and so you know it sucks that it had to be this way, but sometimes, you have to experience things like this to get a little bit of a wake up call because I shouldn't have been eating the stuff that I've been eating the past couple months. And um, I, there's also some like personal stuff that I should have confronted sooner than later. And so, and this kind of stuff, like stressors really play a big part in our hormones. A lot of people don't realize that. Um, and stress stress alone can change your hormones. Stress alone can change your weight, can make you gain weight just because you're so stressed, or make you lose weight because you're so stressed. Stress plays a way bigger part on our health than a lot of people realize. And, and that is one of the things that I did want to, express that is important to take care of if you do want to have healthy hormones, um, and just keep your hormones in check. But yeah, last night it was not good, but I made it through the night. We're here today. And so that's also why I wanted to talk about this, just because of, the experience I had last night. And typically a lot of the shows that I do on here for you guys are related to something in my life, or, and or I'm doing an interview with somebody else. But a lot of times these topics are because it's relatable to something currently happening in my life. And so, I wanted to, and I want to bring this stuff up because I know I'm not the only person that deals with this kind of stuff. And so so I just wanted to note my friend Courtney Luna. I follow her on Instagram. She just finished her sardine fast, and it actually made me crave sardines because I actually like sardines. She does not like, I think a lot of people don't like sardines, but that's normal, but I'm not normal. And so I love sardines, and it made me crave them. And so I figured I'm going to try it just kind of like as a reset. If I'm ever having like a craving for a weird food like that, like sardines, I take it just as a sign, as my body telling me that it needs the nutrients that is in that food. And so I'm going to go ahead and give it a shot. I actually already had 2 cans of sardines in my pantry. And so I just had them with some mustard earlier. So I'm doing that for a few reasons. I know it sounds really extreme, sardine fast. What fasting is not eating, whatever you can call it, sardine diet, whatever you want to call it. You eat only sardines and, sauces, I guess. But I'm going to try that out to kind of reset my hunger cues, because my hunger cues have just been all over the place. And since I kind of like, I was doing pretty good with my eating, and then I fell off. I just sometimes think I can just eat things that I know I shouldn't be eating, and then it just turns into a big old mess, you guys. And then I end up doing sardine fasts for 3 days. So I'm going to try it out to reset my hunger cues. Also, sardines are super, super nutrient dense. I actually only eat a few different kinds of seafood. Sardines is one of them. So I try to just stick with sardines, tuna, wild caught salmon, and what is the other one? Wild caught cod. And that's pretty much it. I really try not to eat any other fish, no bivalves or shellfish or anything like that either. Those are just, in my opinion, the cleanest options out there. And you have different risks with all of those, to be honest. But I would say sardines are actually the safest, because I heard earlier that they don't eat other fish or something, like, and because they're small, they're not in the ocean for a long time. And nowadays, like, the world is so like, we're finding crazy things in the ocean, and like oil spills and all kinds of things like that. And so you kind of just really have to be careful with where you're getting your food, and how it's produced, and how long it was, and where, and its environment, and what kind of environment it was in. And so sardines are definitely one of the safer fish to eat. um, I will say a lot of people doing the sardine fast are like heating up the sardines. I don't know if I would do that. I like sardines just out of the can. Like I said, I just had it with brown mustard earlier. They're good with mayo, like with like a tuna salad kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, so I'm trying that. And I will keep y'all updated. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, I'll share a little bit of that as well, and see the results on that. But yeah, I've been eating with my cycle. Dr. Minzy Pels, she's like the expert on this. I love watching and listening to her stuff. She has the book called Fast Like a Girl, and talks about just a lot of our cycle and our hormones, and how we should be eating with our cycle. Like, there's different foods and things like that we should be eating, and different amounts of foods we should be eating even throughout the month. And I think it's so cool to learn about all that stuff. And so it's like she recommends it's better for women to eat more than normal leading up to their cycle. And then once your cycle starts, you can basically fast as much as you want until near ovulation. So even though I'm not water fasting, I think right now, like for me, it's a good time to try the sardine fast because it is going to be lower calories. Even if I eat a ton of sardines, from what I've been hearing from other people's experiences, that you don't eat as much sardines on the sardine fast. And so I have a bunch of different sardines that I'm going to try, and I'm not going to be super strict. Like I have some like with flavors in them, so I do have those to make it a little bit different. Um, but yeah, and if you guys are, you might be wondering like, what did I eat, and like what caused me so much stress that affected my hormones so badly? Well, like I said earlier, there's a lot of like personal stuff and a lot of different things that happen. But one major one I can share with y'all is that I got into an accident with my brand new 2024 Honda CRV that I loved so much. Rest in peace, Rhonda. And and then, like just some other things. And then so I just resorted to comfort eating and eating more desserts than I should, eating sugar, like literally cane sugar. And I'm like, I don't know why I resorted to that because I really am not about that cane sugar life at all. And so I was eating that, and I just started seeing, negative side effects starting to come back that I had just gotten rid of. And and it's so frustrating getting stuck in that cycle of food addiction. And so maybe coming on here is my way of um, holding myself accountable and sharing with you guys, because I know community can really help with food addiction when you struggle eating healthy foods. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. You guys, if you've been following me for a few years now, you know that I always keep things real. I try, I'm not 100% transparent with y'all. I'm not going to tell you every little bit of my life, but but I try to keep things real in the sense of sharing insights of what goes on in my life to hopefully help you guys. Maybe somebody else can relate, somebody else has a similar story or something like that. And so that's why I like sharing this stuff with you guys. But yeah, chocolate also, I think, was one of the things. Chocolate, almonds, like the keto goods. Also, I like started ordering delivery more because I ended up not having a car, and I switched to having a scooter only. And so, you can only get so many groceries. And also just wasn't feeling good. So I just order out more. And I think like the seed oils and the hidden sugars and the hidden, who knows what, I know what, but it's a lot of bad things when you go out to eat. Like even if you go out to eat and you get a grass-fed burger, like there's soybean oil in the bun, not and the mayo, and your fries were cooked in soybean oil, and there might be E. coli on that lettuce because it's not organic, and who knows how much glyphosate was sprayed on those onions and tomatoes. And potato farmers don't even eat the potatoes that they grow because they are so drenched in glyphosate, like literally drowning. And people have to wear like full on hazmat looking suits just to spray the produce that you are supposed to be eating. And that's what's served at restaurants, and that's what they put with your grass-fed burger, and that's what they put on that locally sourced bun or whatever. So just because it sounds nice doesn't mean that it is nice when you go out to the restaurants. Definitely, if you want to eat super, super clean, eating out at restaurants, even ones that say that they source locally organic, don't have 100% across the board all clean ingredients. I can guarantee you a majority of restaurants do not. I have worked in restaurants for over 20 years of my life, and I've worked in all different kinds of restaurants, and so I know what goes back and behind of kitchens. And I've owned food businesses myself, and have helped other people with their food businesses. And so it's almost impossible. It's not impossible, but it's extremely difficult to source all of your ingredients super, super clean, organic, locally sourced, all that stuff for a restaurant, while also maintaining consistency, and while also maintaining the same menu, and while also maintaining like the same flavor of making the same dishes all the time. It's very, very hard to do all those things at once, and and also make it profitable, and also make it affordable for the customers. That's the biggest thing with food and restaurants is finding that balance of quality and affordability. So it's a win-win for everybody, and that's why, unfortunately, a lot of restaurants have to cut corners and buy GMO lettuce and tomatoes and put it on top of your grass-fed, grass-finished, locally sourced burger patty. So that's why it's safer to eat just the burger patty too when you go out to eat. That's and even if it's not a grass-fed, grass-finished burger patty when you go out to eat, uh, the burger patty is still going to be the healthiest thing out of the whole thing, even if it's just a conventional burger patty and all the produce is organic. I would still rather eat the burger patty than all the produce, because the produce isn't going to do anything to fill me up. But yeah, that was just a little side rant there. But yeah, so now I will share with you some of the tips I have here. Um, to help women, help your hormones be a little bit more balanced, and to help you feel more stable throughout just everything in life, really, and your mood, energy, all that stuff. So, one of the things that I first did to help my hormones become more balanced and regulated was cut out all toxic fragrances, all of them. And I don't mean just perfume, and I don't mean just candles. I mean, your room sprays, your dish soaps, your shampoos, your conditioners, your lotions, yes, your candles. I'm pretty sure like the Scentsy stuff has pretty bad fragrances, body scrubs, literally anything like with the word fragrance in the ingredients is going to be so, so bad for your hormones, and it is going to wreak havoc on your hormonal health. So like I was trying to think of all the things that has a fragrance. And so if anybody knows anything that I missed, please write that stuff in the comments. If you have stuff in your house that is that has fragrance um, that you can like think of, um, write that down in the comments. Share some stuff that you're going to be getting rid of if you're trying to take control of your hormone health, because that stuff and for me, I don't know why, but it was just easy for me to get rid of all that stuff. So I did. And your detergent, fabric softener, the sheets, all that stuff is actually so bad for your hormones, and people don't realize it. Like the makeup to all of that stuff is literally just chemicals. And we live in a world nowadays where people just put toxins in and on and around their body and in their home, and literally are just surrounding themselves with all these hormone disruptors, and wreaking havoc on their body. And then they wonder why they can't get pregnant. Women wonder why they can't have children, why they keep having why they why they can't have babies at all. They keep losing the babies, and then they wonder why they have migraines all the time, and then people wonder why they're moody all the time, and then they wonder why they're literally in bed for 4 days on their period every single month for a majority of their life. And then women wonder why they have acne all the time, and you wonder why you have all these issues, and you don't want to blame the things that are made out of chemicals. Like, everybody knows that that stuff is made out of chemicals. There's literally warning labels on a lot of that stuff, and like it tells you not to put it in your eyes. And obviously you don't want to put in that much you don't really want to put stuff in your eyes anyways, but like it's toxic. Everybody knows it's not healthy, it's not natural. And we live in a world now where we have so much access to natural alternatives. Yes, it costs more, but like how much does your health cost? How much do you think your life is worth? Because that's really what it comes down to. If you don't think your life is worth much, if you don't think that you deserve a happy, healthy life, if you don't think that God died on the cross for your sins, and you deserve to live a happy, healthy, prosperous life where you can give and love others, then I guess, yeah, go ahead, use that perfume and use those toxic sprays and stuff. But if you're watching and listening to my channel, you most likely don't think that way. And so I want to encourage you to throw away your favorite perfume, throw away your favorite stupid Bath and Body Works. Sorry, that stuff is all poison. That stuff is all trash. That stuff, like, I literally don't like walking past those stores. I literally don't like walking down that aisle in the grocery store. It just gives me like an instant ick feeling. And I don't like it. It's trash. It's literally trash, and I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it because it is. It's poison. It's trash. Nobody deserves to live a horrible life just because you want to smell like a chemical flower. Sorry, it's not. It's not worth all those negative side effects. I promise you. I promise you can find some essential oil flower blends that you can find that you will like. And you can put that in a water bottle, in a spray bottle with some water, and spray your house with it and use it as your perfume, and use it wherever you want. Use it on your clothes. There's like so many ways, and that's a really cheap way to do it too. I make my own perfume. I spend however much the vanilla essential oil is, and I try different brands, so I don't have like specific brands. So I'm always trying different ones, and you mix it with water, and it smells so good. Like, I've been using it for years now, and I love it, and other people love it, and it's so cheap. And I will never find a perfume that I love as much as the one that I make with just vanilla and water. And yeah, and so there's just so many different alternatives to those toxic fragrances, and so like I am urging you to make the switch on that, because that is really a big one. Next one I have here is women. I know just in general also, we're just taught to eat less if we want to lose weight, and a lot of women, myself included, fall culprit of not eating enough. And it's just not true that eating less you're going to lose weight. Like, yes, that might be the case, but losing weight is not really the healthiest thing. You want to lose fat if you have too much fat on your body. And not eating is not necessarily going to do that all the time, because if your body thinks it's in starvation mode, your body's going to start eating muscle. It's not going to eat the fat first. So you really want to be careful with that. That's something that I've been working on also. That's one of the reasons why I want to do the sardine fast, to reset my hunger cues, because my hunger cues are just like way off. And and I'm not going to eat unless I'm really hungry, because like it's only sardines. That's the only option that I'm going to have. So I want to encourage women to eat more foods. The foods I recommend to focus eating on a daily basis uh, is like, and no matter what diet you eat, our red meat is the first one. Surprise. Eat as much red meat as you want. Seriously. And this goes for both men and women. Eat all the red meat your heart desires. Like, I'm not even kidding. And I don't mean like deep fried chicken, fried steak, or something like that. I'm talking about like steaks, burger patties. I'm not talking about meatloaf that you get at a restaurant made with seed oil made bread, and who knows what kind of corn syrup sauce is in there or whatever. I'm talking about straight red meat, not processed red meat, straight red meat, steaks, fajitas, burger patties, taco meat, all that good stuff. Everybody can eat as much as they want of that. Like, I'm not even kidding. Most of your problems in life might become resolved. I'm not even kidding. Like, I know it sounds funny, but I'm not even kidding. Yeah, the more meat you eat, the better your life becomes. Like, it's just so true. And it's something and I keep having to remind myself over the years. I don't know why I keep forgetting. I guess, I just have to be reminded I'm human sometimes. But so healthy fats is another one. Butter, beef tallow, um, let's see, coconut oil, high quality olive oil. Know the source of the quality oil. I know there's a lot of information out there that olive oil is not real, it's blended and all this stuff. So I like to use Texas Olive Ranch. God bless Texas. I have met one of the owners there. When I used to work in the service industry, I met him at an event, and it's a family-run business, clean ingredients. It is olive oil, and it tastes delicious, and the price is good. So I get Texas Olive Ranch. I'm sure they sell online, and I get the. Let's see. Give me 1 second. I can show you. So this is the one I get. I've not tried their other ones, but this is the one that always is the good price. I get this when I worked in restaurants too. I would buy this by the gallon and cook this in the food service businesses that I had. So this is the Arbequina, I don't know, Arbequina flavor. It's fresh and buttery. I really like it. It's like super smooth and buttery, and like it doesn't like burn the back of your throat like some olive oils do. And then avocado oil. So healthy fats, definitely focus on that, eating that every day. I know a lot of people are scared of butter and the calories and all that stuff, but I promise your hormones will be so happy with all the fats, with all the good fats. Um, and then eggs, I think, are such an amazing superfood, especially for women. And if you can handle dairy, stick to full fat. Raw is best, but organic or grass-fed, store-bought is still good. And if you can't afford that, just get whole milk, or yeah, like the full fat yogurt or full fat dairy or whatever you're gonna get. Just stick with that, and that will all feed your hormones. And yeah, but like raw milk, I've heard. I've actually heard for women that raw milk can grow your tatas. If anyone wants to experiment with that, I think it does work. But yeah, all these foods will help with your digestive system, your hormones, and your brain health, which will all work together in helping you feel better overall in your everyday life. And it will, like, I swear, like just changing the foods, you'll reduce so much pain and suffering in on your cycle every month. Next thing is over exercising. I know a lot of people in the health and fitness industry love to do high intensity fitness workouts and work out 7 days a week, 6 or 7 days a week, and all that stuff. Women are not made to be working that hard that much. We're not. We're just not. Women physically need more rest than men, and we physically don't need as much testosterone as men. And going into the gym, lifting weights, and doing high intensity workouts and things like that, that all creates natural testosterone. And so if a woman is in the gym 7 days a week, 1 to 2 to 3 hours every single day, that's a lot of natural testosterone that she's producing, and it's going to take a lot to counteract and counterbalance that with creating natural estrogen. So it can be really detrimental to a woman's health and hormones if she is doing high intensity workouts specifically, regularly and often. And I'm not trying to persuade against from lifting weights. I lift weights. I just mean like 7 days a week, doing it all the time, as well as high intensity workouts. It can be very, very bad for your hormones. Um, and let's see here. For me, I think a few times a week lifting heavy weights is like a good amount for women to produce just enough testosterone for the week to get just enough to get stuff done. And I know a lot of women are scared of lifting weights because they think that they'll get bulky. And I promise you, you will not get bulky. It is so, so hard to get bulky and to gain muscle as a woman. And like you have to eat so much, so much. It is crazy how much you have to eat if you are intentionally trying to gain muscle. And also you have to be intentionally trying to gain muscle if you want to get bulky and gain muscle. Otherwise, you won't. You'll just keep lifting weights over and over again, and you'll stay uh, roughly the same. You'll only get to a certain size, you know, if you're not adding progressive overload. If you keep lifting the same weight for a whole year on the dumbbells and on the leg press machine, you know, on all the things, if you're doing the same weight for a whole year, you will only get up to a certain size. Like your muscles will only get so big if you're not adding extra weight and if you're not adding extra food. So I promise you, it's really, really hard to get bulky, and it takes a lot of work and effort to get there. So women, Please don't be afraid of lifting weights. It actually will help shape your body. It'll help you stay healthy. It'll help your hormones stay in balance. It'll help you produce just enough testosterone to get enough stuff done for the week. And it'll just help regulate your emotions as well. It's also good to keep your body moving just to stay healthy and fit. And if you have children, you want to be able to pick up your kids and run if you ever need to in any kind of situation. God forbid, but you want to be able to take care of your children to the best of your ability. And being fit and strong is definitely something that I think women need to focus on more, because it's just important. There's a lot of benefits to it. Another tip that I want to offer for women's hormonal health might be an unconventional one, surprise, but to make sure to take time for self-care and spending time with a girlfriend or two when you can. This actually naturally produces good estrogen, because if a woman is constantly, and I keep saying women because I just want to, reiterate that this, and I'm talking about this specifically for women. It's totally different for men. But women will naturally produce the good estrogen if a woman is constantly working all the time, constantly trying to do project, constantly trying to go to the gym and lifting heavy weights or do hit workouts, and constantly trying to do favors for other people, then that woman's always going to be in her masculine. That woman is always going to be more on her dominant masculine side instead of her soft, loving, sweet, receiving feminine side. And it's gonna take a lot to get back into balance. And that's just from actions. That's just from women and talking to women, and also taking care of yourself, taking time to have a bubble bath or read a book with some soft lighting, or go outside and listen to the birds and do some art, or whatever kind of creative thing you like to do that can help you relax and bring you back to your center as a woman. It's really important to remember to do that stuff, and the self-care, and like skincare, facial care, all that stuff, getting a massage, pedicures, all that kinds of stuff. It's really important to get that stuff done. Otherwise, you're just going to be angry all the time and you're not going to know why. And so when a woman, I have some stuff written here. When women have more testosterone in their body, they become more irritable, anxious, and depressed. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like most of women that people are used to? Because I know that's what it sounds like to me. Growing up, I didn't have a lot of girlfriends because I thought women were crazy, and I did not want that, and I was kind of like that. But I worked hard and And we're back. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you for sticking around. I see a couple people are still here. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me. I don't really know what happened. I'm normally on at this time, so normally the internet works fine. But maybe I need to move my satellite dish a little bit outside. But let's see. I was on this last. Wait, here it is. Here talking here about the side effects of when women have more testosterone in their body. So let me make sure that I'm here on the rock fin as well. I just want to make sure it reconnected there. I don't know if it did actually. We'll see. Okay. So yeah, side effects of women having too much testosterone. More irritable, anxious, depressed. Yeah, I was talking about how that I never had girlfriends growing up because I thought they were crazy. I didn't want to be like that when I grew up. And so I'm really happy where I ended up. But yeah, let's see. So, oh, other things that women are also more susceptible to. Sorry, I'm trying to do a couple things at once. Are when a woman has too much testosterone in her body is PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is actually really common in women nowadays also, and it's been common for quite a while. I let's see. Another thing I have listed here is having more hair in various areas and irregular periods. So none of that stuff sounds fun. But that is something that is common in women nowadays, especially in America, because a lot of women have unbalanced hormones. And they, it's unfortunate because it doesn't need to be that way. And that's why I wanted to share these tips with everybody because it you can avoid these uncomfortable things that you deal with every month, and you can minimize the pain and you can minimize the suffering. And I promise it doesn't have to be this way. Unfortunately, we do have to have a cycle. We do have to shed our uterine lining every month if we're not having a child. And that is the curse of Eve. And so we do have to live with that. But there are ways. God did give us the gift of free will, and we do have access to the information of ways to help minimize this pain and suffering. And so that's why I wanted to get on here and share that info with you guys. Um, let's see. I just want to thank everyone again for coming on here, and for the women that are watching and listening. If you want to stay on top of your game, to be to the best of your ability in this beautiful clown world that we live in, keep your hormones in check, ladies, because it will just make things so much easier for you too, and everyone around you as well, because uh, I'm sure everyone has heard or complained themselves about a woman on their period and how crazy they are and how they need chocolates and all this stuff. And also, dudes, don't get your woman chocolates on her period because that's actually so bad for her. I really try not to eat chocolate around my period because it actually causes me more cramps. And I think it's because of the oxalates in the chocolate, and and giving your girl sugar and chocolates and things like that, and are not going to help her cycle. So avoid giving your girl chocolates and things like that around her cycle. It's not good for her. But yeah, I think it'd be safe to say it's a trait of a high value woman when she has her hormones in check, because then she just has her mood in check. And when her mood is so good and she has God in her heart, of course, everything, oh, everything around you can feel like you're in a fairy tale and nothing can go wrong, even when it does, everything's okay. And like, I'm not even exaggerating. When your hormones are in check and your mood is just steady and stable and you can just stay happy all the time, even when you're having your period. I have never been so stressed out and so full of anger. And this cycle just really, like, reminded me, to just get back to what I know works for me, and that is meat. And so I'm excited to, restart again for the millionth time. And it's okay that, you fall a million times, as long as what really matters is that you get up. And, that's what matters, is what you do after you fall. So just don't stay on the ground, pick yourself up, and you can start over again. But God wants us to be a light in this world, but we can't do that if we're dimming ourselves with these toxins and overworking and overgiving. I love bringing God up when I talk about health, because it's a constant reminder for me to take care of my temple from the inside out. It's a reminder to choose life and love everything that I do, and I hope that it does the same for you too. Thank you guys again so much for coming on here. I really appreciate all the support everybody has given me since I've started this. And I have loved growing and learning and sharing with you guys. And if there's anybody that ever wants to come on my show, shoot me a message. We can talk about God and meat, or whatever you want to talk about. And I want to give a big shout out to my sponsor, Wise Wolf Gold and Silver. I didn't have my little banner up, but I have a link, yecca.gold, and you can subscribe to gold and silver getting shipped to your house every month. It's really cool. You get different things every month, and I love it. We show you the savings on there. I work there too, so I have a little bit of part in what goes in the packs. So thank you guys, everybody who chooses to support me through there. It really, really means so much to me. Every time you support me through that link, that is the best way to support me, you guys. I hope you all have a blessed week, and I will see you all next week. Bye.